All right, good morning, everybody. Started out a little bit different, but I heard that this morning and thought that was some good content. So I thought that'd be a great way to launch our call. Welcome to Friday Team Call. Hope everybody is having a good day and a great week. And we definitely had some folks go out and have a good week this week. Let's get to some leaderboards. Let's see, we had two new riders. So a big shout out, congratulations to Bob Pelletrani, who is on the Terry Myers team. Congratulations, two applications, $2,040. And we say if you can write one, you can write two. If you can write two, you get yourself a business started. So keep up the great work. And our other new writer, Joanna Dueben, I hope I'm saying your last name correctly, or at least getting in the vicinity. 4 applications, $678 direct to Lionel Anderson, part of the Lionel Anderson team. Congratulations, new riders. Awesome to see you guys hitting the boards. Keep up the great work and go out and help some families. So let's hit top 10. Secondary shout out here to Joanna. You actually came in at number 10 on the week. So 4 applications, 2678. Direct to Lionel Anderson. Sydney Lee had 3 applications, $2,696 direct to Stella Dinwiddie. Natalie Herman had 2 applications, $2,941 direct to Eric Sullivan. James McKeon, Mr. Part-Time, back in the mix. 5 applications, guys, on a part-time basis, 5 apps. That is strong. $3,060 direct to John Paul Vetter. Donna Bates, 3 applications, $3,356 direct to Spencer Cushion. Mr. Andy McKinley, 3 applications, $3,495 direct to myself. Laura Wilson, 3 applications, $3,546 direct to Natalie Herman. Mr. Spencer Cushion, back in the mix after a major move and relocation and a lot of things that took him out of the cycle, but he is back and up and running. 3 applications, $3,758 direct to myself. Mr. Brad Higgins in the number 2 spot with 1 application, but if you're going to make 1 application, you make it a big one. $7,500 APV direct to Eric Sullivan, and I know that's actually a capped APV application, meaning it was a lot more than that. In fact, if I remember right, I don't have the exact number, it was in the neighborhood of $14,000. So congratulations on that. I believe it was an IUL too, if I remember. Again, kind of glanced at that real quick and figured it was probably capped at 7,500. But again, a lot bigger case than that. So congratulations, Brad. Number 1 on the week, leading from the front, Mr. Eric Sullivan, 4 applications, $7,796 direct to John Paul Vetter, with a fast growing team and leading from the front in doing so. Congratulations. Great week, Eric. Quick shout out last week, Friday afternoon, Warriors. We do have our call obviously on Friday morning, but turn in does not end until Friday evening, midnight Eastern. So any business you write today after the call, we want to make sure we capture that. And last week, Stacy Love went out, put up 4 applications for $728 APV. Congratulations, Stacy, going out on a Friday afternoon. And same to Andy McKinley on a Friday afternoon, 2 applications, $2,438. So congratulations, Andy, going out and finishing out the week strong. Let's do month-to-date leaderboards. Where are we at so far for the month? We're going to do top 10. We'll run through these real quick, but kind of give everybody a sense of how your month is going. Number 10, Andy McKinley, 5 applications, $4,805. Donna Bates, 7 applications, $6,466. Stacy Love, 8 applications, $7,020. Brad Higgins, 1 application, $7,500. Dave Moan, 6 applications, $8,326. Lionel Anderson, 11 applications, $8,463. Stella Dinwiddie, 11 applications, $8,647. Eric Sullivan, 11 applications, $8,647. Oops, I'm sorry, I read the wrong line. Eric, you actually have $10,921. Excuse me, I dropped the line there. 11 applications, $10,921. Natalia Hermit, 6 applications, $13,145. And number one so far for the month, and again, we still have a week left, but Jenny Gray leading from the front, 15 applications, $15,350. So great job, Jenny, so far for the week. And again, we do have, we still have some time left, another week left on the month. And that just reminds me, let's give a quick shout out here. I forgot to circle it. Actually, looks like app count lead for this week was Stacy Love with 6 applications so far for the week. So great job, Stacy, on the week, leading in app count, $2,035. So great job. Guys, I was slipping a quick announcement before I get to the actual announcement. We're going to give you kind of an idea of what the format of our call is going to be. I've got a couple of training topics I will touch on. However, I may not touch on them if you all have questions that you would like to pose. So I'm doing this now, so you can kind of be thinking about it and jotting down something if it's from a sales side, a building side, or just a question in general about the business. Be thinking about that. We're going to have open Q&A today. And we're giving everybody an opportunity. Unmute yourself and just ask a question. So we'll get to that here in a little bit. But again, I'm going to give that little announcement right now. So a lot of times when we drop that on people, everybody kind of freezes. It's that phenomenon where you get asked a question, your mind goes blank. So I'll give you a little bit of time to kind of mull that over, and then we'll get to that later. So announcements for the morning. Conference, guys, we have conference coming up at the end of August, the Wayland Conference, huge training event. You all want to get there, be there, but you need to get your tickets bought now. I need to go back and count. I only have 2 or 3 left. If you've already contacted me, I've got your name on the list. Don't panic. I'm saying this for the benefit of somebody that hasn't hit the done button. We made a big deal last week on the call that we are going to be running out of tickets, and guys, I mean, 1 week later, I'm almost out of tickets. So, now if definitely get your name on the list. We'll get you a ticket. If we don't have tickets, we'll put you on a waiting list. I can't promise we can get you a ticket. So that's why I'm saying, do not hesitate, do not delay. Get that done today, and get your name locked in. So, and I don't know. I know Stella and John Paul have both filled up a lot of tickets as well, but in their respective teams. But still, reach back out and make sure you get that done today. Don't delay, or you may be missing out on your biggest opportunity for training and success in the second half of the year. Let's go to our agency owners, and we'll go to Stella first. Stella actually has an announcement for her team, and this, guys, just kind of a quick disclaimer. We have a total of 3 teams on here, and so Stella's going to be doing some announcements for her team. One of these is going to be specific to her team. I know she's got a little contest, so if you get all excited and you're not on Stella's team, sorry, this is a Stella Dinwiddie contest. So bug your AO and tell them to get a contest going. So Stella, I lost you. Where you at? Go ahead and unmute and do your announcements.
Good morning, Chris. Thank you so much. Always super grateful, thankful to be here. And I am so excited. Oh my gosh. Everything is so amazing today because thank you for that intro. So yesterday I had the opportunity to be on a call with Waylon Marshall and Ryan Miller and a bunch of other AOs, because this company, this place, you guys, is such a phenomenal place of opportunities. And if you're not on my team, don't worry about it. You still have a chance to get yourself to Cabo, all expenses paid trip. When I was on that call, we were reviewing a game plan, because I had signed up and I had the privilege of, I purchased somebody's ticket on my team to go to Cabo, all expenses paid for 2 people. And that person is going to need to win their spot. But it's so exciting because, you know, the opportunity, you know, just opens up that much greater. And it's not just going to Cabo, you know, with all expenses paid trip and you can bring your spouse. You get to hang out with the Eagles, the best of the best, Waylon Marshall, you know, Ryan Miller, you know, Chris Menefee, John Pulpit. I mean, all of, you know, Miranda Martin, all the people, you know, who have already done it. We're going to be there. And I am so excited. So I will be rolling out all of those details. It's going to be based on a point system, and it's going to cover the months of July, August, September, October, and November. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 5 months. So there's a lot of people on our team that just got licensed or they're in the process of getting their license. You all have a great chance because, you know, Chris once told me a long time ago, and I will never forget it, and it means so much to me, is that you can go from 0 to hero here. When I first started here, many of you know I was broke as broke. And one weekend I had trouble paying my rent. That's the truth. It's a humbling statement. But Chris said, Stella, get on the phone. You can go from 0 to hero. And lo and behold, I put $2,000 in my bank account 2 days later because I went out there and wrote business. So you can do that too. And you can produce and get yourself a spot to go to Cabo. This is on the Dinwiddie team. I am sure Chris and John Paul are going to be putting up some fun contests, which is going to be really exciting because we've already seen all the excitement yesterday with all the promotions for everybody here on this team, on every team, not just my team, everybody's team, all the promotions, everybody writing. More people are starting to write. Dave Moan's writing every week. The guy is like, I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, you can't beat me. And there's just all kinds of exciting stuff. So I'm so sorry for being so overly excited, but I can't contain myself right now because it's been way too long since I myself have been on a vacation with my whole family. And it's in January. So mark your calendar on that. And along the way, we're going to be doing some fun, exciting contests that will, you know, be, you know, for example, whoever sits with the most people, you know, whoever writes the most applications, whoever buys their plane ticket and their hotel fare. I mean, it's a point system and it's all geared for you to be able to, you know, to do better here. So that's the fun thing about it. And the only other thing I just wanted to, was share was that I'm just so proud of so many people here, like people that are not even on my team, making your promotions and just going out there and helping families. This is such an exciting time to be here, you guys. Oh my gosh, just in all the AOs in the making, not just on my team. I've got a number of people, which speaking, by the way, on those AO, the conference tickets, Bob, Terry, and myself, we've got tickets, not very many, because, you know, we want to make sure, no offense, we love you guys, but we want to take care of our own to make sure, you know, they get a place there at conference. So if we have any left, you know, tap us on the shoulder. But yeah, I mean, there's so much I can share, but I'm going to shut up now. But I'm so excited to be here, and thank you so much. Like, this is the most amazing opportunity, and if you don't seize it, it's on you.
All right, very good. Thank you, Miss Stella, bringing the cheer and excitement this morning. Awesome, love it. John Paul, we got a lot to live up to, so let's turn up the volume.
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. I was downstairs. I'm at the old house. I was downstairs in the kitchen. There was so much light in the background. People were texting me. It was too bright, so I ran back upstairs to the old office here. So hopefully,
just your halo.
But yeah, exactly. Right there you go. So, but no, that's awesome, Stella. And I heard about the few extra rooms that they had available for the Cabo deal. For that, there was only a handful of rooms that available. And by the time I reached out, I think the few that they had available were gone. I do have a call into Marshall Whalen to actually see if they're able to get a couple of more rooms. because I'd love to do the same thing on our end for a contest for Cabo as well. But they only had a handful of rooms that they were add onto the block, and it was like a first come, and they got bombarded as soon as they announced it. I mean, everybody was flying at them to get the room. So Stella, you're lucky to have been able to get in quickly on that. That's awesome. I'm waiting to hear back from Marshall. And if they have an extra room available in that block, then I'll do a similar contest for our team as well for the Cabo trip. But we do have a contest going on right now as it relates for conference, it's for the future AO group that I have, we announced that last week. And basically, it's for the most direct registrants for the conference. I'm putting up. I'm gonna look at my notes here. I believe it was $2,000 in lead credit. $1,000 lead credit for whoever had the most, and then second and third, I think it was $600 and $400 respectively. I'm not looking at my notes; they're at the other house, so I apologize. But the folks in my future Aero group are aware of that. We rolled it out on our call last week, I believe it was. But it's a minimum of 10 to qualify, and that's actually through now between now and in conference. So, but the key is, the tickets are going fast. I did get 5 agency owner packs, which gave me 50 tickets, and I've already got almost 30 of them are already gone and paid for. So I just want you to understand they're going quickly, right? So if you've not gotten your conference ticket, you need to do it quickly, because if you snooze, you are going to lose, because we have people that are bringing their spouses and such, which takes up 2 tickets, or significant other, so they're going quickly. Right. So I just want to make sure that you don't think that you can get lullabied to sleep and wait till, the end of July and then hit me up, on PayPal and think you're going to get a ticket. I can tell you they're not going to have it. And we're registering folks live. So when I get the payments, I'm sending that information to Marshall Whalen's admin, and those tickets are getting registered to those individuals. So, and another important fact, because I had somebody bring this up last week who thought once it gets assigned, well, if I can't make it, I can just give it to somebody else. No, you can't. Once it's assigned to you via your email, it's assigned to one person, and that's it. It can't be changed. So just make sure you keep that in mind as well. So it's not like if you get it and you can't go, well, you can give it to somebody on your team or something that might not have been able to get it originally. You can't do it. Once it's registered, they're in your name, and you have to attend, or the tickets for not. So make sure we understand that from a little bit of a housekeeping perspective. The other thing is, you mentioned last week riders on Friday. There was another gentleman on my team who's another part-time guy, Jorge Morquillo. He's in the car business here in the Atlanta area. He wrote a big DFL policy for himself and his family. Actually, it was about $3,600 in APV on Friday late that he submitted. Not sure you didn't maybe see that on your leaderboards, Chris. So I want to give a shout out to him as well. And then just overall momentum. I mean, if you just look at all the people's names on the leaderboards, and just how well everybody's doing is just a true testament of just the energy, the juice, just everything that's going on with this team. And I couldn't be more proud of everyone, but my team specifically. And I have to say this because I was actually talking to Chris about this last night with Jacob Hogue and with Sandra, frankly. And obviously with this house deal, I've been very distracted and going 100 miles an hour in 16 different ways, in addition to trying to support the team. But my own personal production, normally I rate 30, 40 grand a month on my own pen. And over the last month or two, I mean, it's tough to be able to, balance all the things I've got going on with this house. So one, I'll be glad when it's completely over and I can get transitioned and get back in the mix. But something I thought that was very, very telling, because I'm my own worst critic, right? I feel like no matter where I'm at, I need to always be in the mix, and I have my own expectations of what I want to accomplish, right? I feel if I don't write 30, 40 grand a month on my own pen, then it was a bad month. And that's just the way my mindset is, the way I'm wired, right? So this, as an example, right, this month, I've only written one app for about $2,200, right? Way, way off what I'm used to doing. But the tell, I say that to say this, the tell is that my team and my organization is on pace to do over $100,000 in APV without my pen, which is incredible. And I can't tell you how proud I am of this organization. I mean, we're over 80 grand, 82, 83 grand already for the month. And I'm going to, you know, do my best to have a solid week this next week. But the fact of the true testament is the system, right? And how it works, and having such great people on your team take the reins of leadership and start to really build their own organizations, you know, and and to come in with $100,000+ APV for your agency, and you haven't really contributed yourself like I would normally do, right, is incredible. And so just everybody in my organization, you know, and Eric Sullivan is on his first month run for AO. You saw the promotions that were posted on Crew, and just him and Natalie and that whole group is just on fire. I mean, hell, Eric's on pace to try to make AO here in the next few months, and Natalie's going to chase him in, right? So, which is kind of cool, right? You know, and she's going to be right behind him. And then Jenny Gray, and just, I mean, James McKeon is back in the mix, and you know, Lionel Anderson and his group and folks. And I hate to start naming names because I know I'm going to forget somebody, and I don't mean to to leave anybody out, but everybody is just on fire. And I'm just so proud of everybody in this team and what you've accomplished, what you're doing, what you're accomplishing, right? Because it's your dream and what you're building, but it all rolls up, you know, to the overall agency. And to know that everyone's starting to dig roots and grow deep as they're growing wide is really what this system is about. And it's a true testament of, you know, I was a little nervous, you know, personally, you know, about, man, if I'm not in the mix, you know, writing what I normally would write, you know, how are we going to do as an agency? And everybody that does well is going to do well, right? But I mean, just the overall rising of tides across the board, you know, and I'm just blown away and so blessed and proud of everybody, because to be on pace to come in over $100,000 in APV for my agency, and know that I really personally didn't have anything to do with the production for that given month is I thank you all. I mean, it's just incredible, and I'm so proud of every one of you. And I will say one other thing. I had a chance to talk to Miss Joanna Doibin the other day. I know she wrote her first few apps and such like that. And we've got a lot of great people on the team, and love the spirit and energy. But I see her on these calls, and I want to give a special shout out, right? Because I told her this when I spoke to her. Those of you who come on the call and you know, and if you're not on camera and stuff like that, sometimes you can't be. If you're mobile and stuff like that, we get it, right? But it's important to be engaged and for people to see you, that you're present, right? And one thing that I told Joanna is we can all see each other's facial expressions, body language, engagement, what you're doing on these calls, and that's a key testament of people's success in this business, is how focused and engaged you are. And whether you know it or not, we can see and read all that information, right? And it goes unsaid, but we can feel it and see it. And if you have a solid EQ or emotional radar, you see those things too, right? But I just complimented Joanne because she's always engaged right there. She's picking up everything that we're putting down. And so the compliment to her was just, you know, I appreciate her engagement, her enthusiasm. I know she's chomping at the bit to see her name at the top of the leaderboards and really go at it, you know, but that's the kind of fiber and wiring that it takes to be successful here, to have success. And so I want to give you a special shout out on that, Joanna, as well. I appreciate our conversation the other day. But that's the beautiful thing when your organization is growing wide, but you're starting to grow 2, 3, 4 levels deep in your organization, and still being able to have that connectivity with folks. It's special, because that's where it becomes multiplication, not addition, right? And so blessed for everybody on my Future AOs group and everybody on my agency, the folks that are building teams. So much momentum right now. I cannot wait to see the size of this group at conference. We're going to blow through the 50 tickets that I have, and unfortunately, I mean, we're not going to be able to get any more. You know, so I want to make sure that you got to get your ticket and get your name on one, so that we can be able to make sure that your ticket's spoken for, so you have a seat at conference. It's that important, and you got to do it early. You can't wait. And again, I'll reiterate, we've said it before. I don't care who you are, what you think you've done in the past, or what you think your focus is. If you don't go to conference, I'm telling you, 95% of surety you won't be here in 3 or 4, 6 months. It's just, we've seen it more times than I can count. I personally have had people on my team that had all the right wiring. I mean, they were studs, superstars. I mean, they had the right ingredients, but thought that they knew better and they didn't need to go, and always some excuse, right? Every one of those people that thought that are not here. I'm telling you right now, not a single one of them are still here at Symmetry, period. The people that are engaged and the people that are connected and the people that are students of this and part of this journey and immerse themselves in this opportunity are the ones who are going to find success. And you're going to learn so much at that conference. You're going to mitigate 6 months of learning curve from being at that conference. So anyway, sorry, Chris, to kind of take a little bit extra time there, but I wanted to make sure I covered a few bases on there. But thank you to everybody. A great month. We still have a whole nother week here to finish up the month in production and, keep the gas on.
Oh, that's great, John Paul. I appreciate it. No, that was perfect what you just said, because so much of this business, I mean, yeah, we get train on skill sets, on technique and all that, and it's needed and necessary. But the reality is the success in this business happens in between your ears. And in too many times it's little things. It's well, I'm gonna study, I'm gonna get better, I'm gonna get a better closer, I'm gonna get better on the phones, this and that. And the reality is it's the little things like showing up for calls, but then participating in calls. And participating, is active, pen in hand, taking notes, not sending out emails while you're, especially when you're talking about, something that's impactful, either from a training or personal development standpoint. Because we, for the national call, they were playing clips from the virtual conference back in March, and the comment is made, and it's always made after every conference. Everybody's blown away the fact that these are not professional speakers, meaning they're not paid speakers. These are not people that go around and do a circuit where that's their income. They are top level leaders in this company. But my point with that is, that's a mark of somebody who's very engaged in the system. And that's, at the end of the day, that's what this is about. It's about believing and plugging into the system. Is it going to go smoothly? Nope, it's not. Are you going to fall down and have all kinds of failure? Yeah, absolutely. Even plugging into the system, things are not going to go smoothly because it's a learning process. It takes time to get your wheels under you. And sometimes for some people, it takes longer. I've seen people be here a year or two before the rocket takes off. Now that's frustrating. I mean, we want to be that person that, yeah, I came in month one and I was figuring things out and I read out and wrote $20,000. Well, that's almost annoying. It's like, I'm trying to figure things out and I still wrote 20 grand. Are you kidding me? That when we hear somebody like that, we almost want to throw a computer screen, but you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, if you just, I remember Brian Pope, and I quote him a lot because of the founders, they all say very profound things. His seemed to hit me the most, but he made a statement one day, when I was early on in this business. He said, if you just make the decision that this is where you're going to be, remove that emotional component out. And that's the biggest thing. Again, success happens in between your ears here. Yeah, you can get better. Yeah, you can improve your technique and all that. And we're going to talk about that here in a minute. But if you just make the decision, this is where it's going to be. This is where I'm going to have my success in life, in career, whatever. And then remove that component. It's not, well, am I going to be here? Am I not? If I don't get it in 30 days, if I don't get it in 90 days, if I don't get it in a year, then I'm going to find something else. That's a foot out the door. That's an exit plan. That's a plan for failure. Guys, let me go ahead and pause because I can ramble on about this for a long time. I made the announcement here just a few minutes ago. If anybody had a question, I've got a couple of topics that I'll touch on, just some light training. But I kind of want to hear from people that have questions, thoughts, concerns, something that you want to just throw out and get some feedback on. And myself, John Paul, Stella, some of the other team leaders can chime in. But anybody want to get brave and unmute yourself and throw a question out? Yep,
I'll go first. So I'm Logan Klussman. I actually just recently passed my licensing exam last week. So I'm new under John Paul and Jenny. And, I have a question. I'm going through all the training. I'm listening to a lot of the phone call stuff, confidence is key kind of thing. And just outside of the training, what's one thing that I could hop on early and really get ahead to help myself in the first month besides the outside of the training?
Yeah, that's a great question. I really appreciate that question. Yeah, so you're right. I mean, diving into the training, just following through the process. I mean, that's going to be key. One of the X factors, and you'll hear this phrase a lot. We're a personal development company that happens to sell insurance. You have to be working on yourself and growing as an individual. Not just in a business standpoint, but just as a personal standpoint. So I would highly encourage you to plug into some growth-minded books. Some titles I can mention: The Slight Edge by Greg Olson, The 10X Rule, Grant Cardone. That was actually one of the first books that I read when I came into to this business. Go for No. I forget the author's name on that, but Go for No is a great startup book. Any other titles? Let's hear some shout outs on titles. What's really impacted some of our leaders here?
Failing Forward is
Failing
huge.
Forward. Awesome.
Failing Forward, and also The Miracle Equation by Hal Elrod is an incredible book. I've read it and I'm rereading it, and it really goes to what you just said, Chris, about taking the emotion out of the process and looking at long-term results instead of what happened yesterday.
Awesome. Love it. No Excuses. That Stella threw up on the screen there, the Brian Tracy. This is a phenomenal book.
Yep, No Excuses, The Power of Self-Discipline by Brian Tracy is a huge one. That's just one for just general mindset and focus. I mean, no excuses. I mean, find a way to make it happen, right? And so that's a great fundamental building tool as far as books are concerned. You can get the Audible or something like that for a couple of bucks, or you can read the actual book itself. But that's a great one. That's one I always recommend to anybody. I saw Eric posted up here, Go for No by Richard Fenton. I think somebody mentioned that, right? So I looked at the comments on there. But that's a great one, Logan.
Good. Now, we just bombarded you with titles, and the reality is, of those titles, mention any one of those is a great place to start. So I don't think of any one of those books as better than another. So whichever one either you've heard of and want to jump in, or you just want to, you like the title of one and jump on it, I don't think you can go wrong with any of those.
Great. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've read The Slight Edge, and I read that while I was in college, and I really loved it. So
excellent. Fun. That's a fundamental book for life. That's one I wish somebody would have given to me when I was in high school. All right, guys, any other thoughts, questions, something you want to throw out to get input on?
Oh, don't be shy now.
Come on, Logan broke the ice.
Anything for any of us. I mean,
I'll jump in.
There you go. Okay, time to go. We'll see y'all later now. Bye-bye.
Something that Andy had sent me a while back, and I really didn't take the time to look at it, but it's the commission Excel spreadsheet from Symmetry that goes through all of the carriers and all of the products and the commission paid on all of the products. And I'm still fairly new here. I mean, I think I just hit my 8-month mark, and I didn't realize, even though I am at 80% commission, a lot of the products that I have been writing have been only paying me 50% commission. And so I pulled that sheet out the other day, and started looking at the different products and the maximum commissions on those products. And I've got to tell you, I'm changing my my shtick. I'm changing my go-to products, because I mean, why would you leave 30% on the table, but just going with, you know, something that's easy to sell? So I just wanted to encourage everybody, if you don't have that spreadsheet, I'll be happy to forward it to you. Just send me a chat message. But definitely look at the products and look at how they pay out, because it's just as easy to sell an 80% commissionable product as it is to sell a 50% commissionable product.
Yeah, great, Jenny. That's a great point, and I'll provide some clarity for folks on that. Now, I will say this: that grid, that spreadsheet, is available on HQ, the Quality HQ, but I don't know if that's only available to AO's access level or everyone. I'm not sure, because I do see it on there on. I'm sorry, hold on. I do see it on. Can you still hear me?
Yep, we got you.
I had a call coming through. My apologies. I had to divert it. But I do see it on there. If not, we've got the Excel spreadsheet saved. And so what I want people to understand is this, right? So Jenny, to Jenny's point. So it's not, if you're at, say, keep the math simple, 70% commission. It's not like if you sell American Amicable's simplified term, it's at 70, Mutual of Omaha's at 70. That's pretty much the same thing, right? The differences start to come in if you start to write final expense. Those are usually less. And if it's a graded policy, and depending on the age of the client, it will be a different bracket. So a graded policy for somebody 63 is 1%, and somebody who might be 81 graded, it's going to be a little bit lower percentage, because there's a higher risk to the insurance company, okay? And as an example, if you were to write an annuity, or you write IULs, I mean, there's different commission levels. It's not necessarily just 70% across the board for everything, carte blanche, no matter what you write, okay? Especially when you get to the guaranteed issue products like AIGs, which is a huge player for us, you know, for folks that are in really bad shape and really can't get approved anywhere else. That is a 2-year graded policy that's guaranteed issue. That ain't 70%. I'm not looking at it, but that might start off at 40 or 45 or 50% or something like that. Again, I have to look at it. But in the flip side is, because it's a much higher risk, but at least you have a solution for the client. The APV count's the same, and at least you got paid, you know, a decent commission, because you're still able to help the customer instead of saying, Mr. Johnson, sorry, I can't help you today, right? So you keep that in mind. The difference with the AIG products is where most other products pay you a 75% advance on your commission the first 9 months, and you get the month 10, 11, and 12 on the back end. The AIGs pays you 50% of your commission now, and then starts paying you your residual at month 6. So it's a little bit less upfront because there's a higher risk, but you actually end up getting paid your residual portion much quicker on that one. So that's just one of the caveats, one of the nuances there. But when the day's done, it all starts to roll up into your overall mix and residuals and things like that that go into the funnel, the machine, right? So, but that's a great point. But at the same time, there are some variances on the final expense whole life products for seniors, whereas Mutual of Omaha's and American Amicable's or United Home Life's, there may be some variances in the commission levels on that product based upon those criteria. But what you need to look at is what the customer will qualify for too, right? So they may qualify for, you might want to write them with Mutual of Omaha because you get 2.5%, 3% more. But if they're not going to qualify, you can't go that route. You're going to have to write them with United Home Life, right? Or something like that. So just keep those things in mind. But I think the overall picture is that it's just not 70% across the board, but the majority of what you write for our simplified term products with the core carriers is going to be at that commission level for reference across when you write those policies. But be mindful of that when you do write those things. And when you look at your commission statement from the carrier, it breaks down and shows you your commission rate that's on there. As far as like a Mutual of Omaha, it shows you your percentage and your breakdown and stuff like that. So you can have that for reference as well. But having access to the Excel, the grid sheet, pretty much covers all the carriers, and you can have that for reference as well. So sorry to ramble on, but there was a lot of information that was kind of rolled up into that topic.
Yeah, just and just kind of a quick summary there. Write the core carriers and write the core products. That's where you're always going to get your best rate. I mean, that's the bottom line. You know, I think one of the big challenges we see, and unfortunately, the good and the bad is, you know, we tell everybody we're a broker, which we can shop the market, you know, and that sounds good, but the problem is when you shop the market, you know, you're hurting your business, but you're also maybe not necessarily doing the best thing for the client. And I think that sounds, for a lot of people, it sounds counterintuitive because they always think, well, it's got to be the cheapest. Well, cheapest is not always best. And one reason why we have our set of core carriers is because we know they're the best companies with the best products at the best rates. I mean, just across the board, it's a win-win-win. And that's really what you want to look for. You want to win for the client first, but you've got to have a win for your business as well. And those core products are designed to get, you know, the client approved with the minimal amount of hassle at the best price, and you know, help you solve that client's needs as quickly as possible. So don't overcomplicate the process. The 70% is based on a mortgage protection. And to John Paul's point, when we do a final expense product critical period, that's a sales concept, and that's really not a mortgage protection product, but we're using it in that context. But again, you know, that's strictly speaking not a mortgage protection design product. So that's kind of where you see the variance in commission. So any other questions? Great questions thrown out there.
I don't have a question, Chris, but something related to the carriers that you were just talking about that they covered in the AO meeting that we had recently regarding, you know, who is going to issue quickest. You know, hands down, American Amicable is your best bet to issue the most quickly. You know, looking at what they recapped, it's like a 2 to 3 business days turnaround on an average. Americo's about 5 business days.
Hold on, let me pause you there, Stella. That's actually on contracting. That's not on.
Oh, you're right. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because Americo is actually instant. Americo is instant on most of their products. American Amicable is instant on some of theirs. So, but yeah, to your point, contracting, yeah, that's one reason why we also use those carriers is the turnaround on contracting.
Yeah, thank you so much for correcting me on that. But American Amicable, you know, on getting issued quickly, and Americo, yes, those are the top 2 in my opinion. I know Mutual of Omaha is coming along. They're not taking as long. But just wanted to share that with, you know, in terms of trying to get your policies issued. And I love NLG, but I'd stay away from them just because they're such a long time to get things issued. And it's exactly, I don't recommend them, right? Yeah.
I'll trump that by saying don't write with Transamerica.
Wow, there's several I could tell you not to write. Yes. No. Please do not.
Yeah, if you can absolutely avoid it. I will say if you guys could check your HQ quality when you have an opportunity and just let us know. The master commission schedule, what I don't know, as I stated, if it's available to everybody or if it's available for AOs and up as far as their admin rights or access of what's available, I don't know. But if you go to your quality home, the main page, and go down to resources, and then expand that and drop to the third one down. It says core values, carrier resources, and then master commission schedule. Click on that and it opens up the Excel spreadsheet. Check and see if you guys have access to that. It lists all the carriers and all the products. If you don't, we have the Excel spreadsheet saved that we can send. Layla said she doesn't have access, I guess. So no. She's already come. You guys don't see it?
Yeah, there's no access, JP.
Okay, no worries. Well,
John Paul, before I wouldn't just blast that out because I think there's some rules from home office. We can't just broadcast that. So
fair enough. All right.
Yeah. We can share rates with agents who have questions about carriers and products. I don't think it's something that's designed to be public.
Okay, fair enough. So what I would say there's a reason why it's only accessible to AOs and up. If you have a question about a particular product or carrier, then let us know. We can look it up and we can get you the information so you're aware of what the commission level should be with the carrier based on your respective commission level for symmetry. Okay. Good catch, Chris.
Can I just mention that honestly, and I know you all know this, but can I just reiterate that as long as you take care of your family first and you're doing the activity, don't get caught up in the details of like, overthinking the process, because everything else will fall in line for you. All the stars will line up as long as your mindset, your attitude, and your activity is there. It'll all fall in place. That's all I want to say.
Very good. Good thought. In fact, to your point, Stella, that's why I always encourage somebody to focus on one company. Just write one company. If you need to, you'll know when you get somebody that doesn't qualify, then go to your secondary or third. Just stick with one company. Just write it, become an expert on it. As long as they treat you good, treat your client good, everybody is happy, then and don't sweat it. Don't worry about it. That's why we select our core carriers. They're going to take care of the client and take care of you. So, any other questions? Q&A.
Okay, if someone's not going to pop up, I just want to say one more thing. Sorry. So for those of you who are brand new or newer in the last 90 days, and you didn't get a chance to get onto the agent orientation with Scott Mank on a Monday morning, I entirely encourage you. A lot of my people on our team that went came back with some really great feedback. So even if you've been here a while, go back, because Scott Mank, who's our 120, like that's big enough right there. This man he lays out a really good outline of what it's like, and he covers a lot of things that you might even be shy to ask here right now.
Thank you.
So every Monday?
Yeah, every
Monday at 11?
Yeah, same time every week. Yep.
Except he's going on vacation, I think, this next week. So this is the only Monday that's not going to happen. I saw an email.
Yeah. But Becky will put out an announcement on that if he's not going to be on.
I would encourage, if you're on the call, because we have a lot of new people, right? If you're on this call and there's anything that you want to know, I don't want you to, we're all family here, right? I know sometimes in a corporate world, you don't want to speak up on a call because you don't want people to think this, that, and third. Man, we're not like that. This is family. You're new. We all had questions. Trust me. I was blowing Chris's phone up about 50, 11 times a day when I first started. He probably was thinking, man, I wish this guy would lose my damn number, right? But it's because I did it quickly so much in the very first, shortly after I started, I didn't need to do it very often, again, right? Now I never talk to the guy, right? So, but the point is, I'm just joking. So talked to him last night. So speak up. If you've got a question, I guarantee you, especially if you're new, there's other people are thinking the same thing, right? Yes, Eric Tiberius Sullivan, we're family. You always got to have one guy that chimes in. He's popping things up in the comment section here. That's all right. You're lucky I got love for you, brother. But ask us, so let us answer it for you, because you don't want something to be in the back of your mind like, wow, I didn't ask this. Just ask it, because I'm sure there's other people that want to know, and no one's going to make fun of you. No one's going to, because I guarantee you, if you think it's a stupid question, we probably had the same question at one point too, right? But let us clarify it for you. That's what we're here for. We're here to help facilitate your success. Okay. So no judgment. We're here to help you get where you want to go. So any other questions? Anybody? Bueller?
Yeah, I just want to make a statement. This is Lionel. I had a conference call just with my team just yesterday, and we discussed those exact facts. And I said to them, if you feel you need to go into the team, go above somebody or whatever, don't feel that you've got to follow a traditional line. And I also shared with them the Symmetry Financial Group Facebook page. I joined it about 2 weeks ago, and you'll be surprised how much information you can gain out of that, because a lot of the agents are actually requesting information about blah, 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 about writing up and people with health issues and that. So you get a lot of advice on the Facebook page as well. So I would also say, join the Facebook page, and don't be scared to reach out to anybody on our team. We got a great team, and I'm pleased that we touched on it today, because just yesterday we discussed it in our team.
Yeah, that's a great point, Lionel. I will say this, we're all accessible to everyone, right? So, and I know Stella and Chris are the same way, But I don't care if you're 3, 4, 5 people deep in my organization. If you can't reach your upline or your upline's upline and you have a question because they're unavailable or with a client or whatever, I want to make sure you have my number. You call me directly and I'll help you with whatever you need. I mean, we're all family and we're all one team here, right? So the key is making sure that you know that you're welcome to call us, right? Now, your first go-to is your mentor, okay? Because even if they don't know the answer to the question, you want them involved so they can learn themselves. It doesn't do any good to call somebody up the ladder to get the answer if your upline didn't know it, because now guess what? You know it, but your upline still might not know it because you didn't involve them in the conversation, right? So this is a learning experience for all of us. So next time they will know, right? So first point of contact is your direct upline, and then from there on up. But there's been plenty of times I wasn't available or on vacation or something like that, and and my team was calling Chris if they needed something early on. So we're all here, and we're all here to support you in that regard. And there's a lot of times, it goes beyond that. Even just in the last couple of days, folks on my team were calling each other because, as an example, there was something with, say, Americo or Foresters, right? I've never written Foresters or Americo, but I've got people on my team who've mastered, and they're doing very well with that. So other people, as an example, James McKeon may help somebody else with a question on Foresters or whatever, right? Because he's got a lot of experience in that. And so that's, again, where we're all helping cross-line. We're all helping each other on this journey because we all want everyone to be successful, right? And no one's got secrets. There's no, I don't want to tell all the cool, secret handshake and the password to the honeycomb hideout, because I don't want anybody to know what I'm doing, right? We want to share with you because we want everybody to be successful. And if I lost you on the password to the honeycomb hideout reference, go Google it. I was a kid, grew up in the 70s. So anyway, it'll make sense to you at that point. I see all the older people on the call smiling and laughing. That's right. But the point is,
hey, old timer, be quiet. Okay, we good.
We're all here to help each other, right? So
I do have a question here. Let's get Jerry Robinson. I think he raised a hand. Go ahead, Jerry.
I did. What I would like to know, what is the industry best time call zones for calling?
You mean like making dials to set appointments?
Yes, dials. Yes, I have Saturday down, but I need to know the weekdays. What is the industry saying at this point about it? And I know it can vary, but what's most productive? I want to be productive.
Well, that's an interesting question because a year ago I would have told you a different thing than I would tell you right now because we've seen a huge shift. A lot of people are still working from home. A lot of people are working remote. Schedules have changed dramatically. It used to be Friday afternoon, Saturday morning were the prime dial times. I would say to a degree they still are. However, I have seen across the board every day of the week we've seen an increase in contact rates and results. So I don't know that there's a bad time to dial. I think the traditional evenings, during the weekdays and again, Friday afternoon, Saturday, probably still what we call your optimum time. But by no means do I say there's a bad time to call anymore. I mean, it really has shifted into our benefit for what we do. Like I said, it used to be you did your dial sessions. We were very regimented, Friday afternoon, Saturday morning, and then if we had to make up dials, weeknights throughout the week. I would throw that out the window, especially if you're brand new getting started. Any time of the day, during, obviously, don't call somebody at 3 a.m. But any time of a normal working day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. is a good dial time. Brand new, I tell people, if you don't have appointments, you need to be on the phone making appointments.
Well, I didn't know that 8 p.m. was I didn't know we could go up to 8 p.m. So now that I know that, I'm good with that because I was kind of shy of bothering people after a certain time period.
Yeah, I think it's, I don't know that there's a hard and fast set rule. I've seen a lot of people have success going up to 8. Past that, that's kind of socially unacceptable, I would think. But I haven't seen a lot of negative feedback or flack on that. So,
may I add to that, Chris?
Yes, briefly. We're about to wrap up.
Okay, so Jerry, you're gonna get some people that are gonna tell you in the evening, what are you calling me this late at night? I'm already in bed. And then you're gonna have other people that are gonna say, oh yeah, this is the perfect time that you caught me. You never know. Everybody, like Chris said, has different schedules. So don't let one person's negative reply to you dictate when you call. You call anytime during those times that he said. 7, except for Sunday, you know, do it late afternoon.
Thank you.
All right, very good, guys. I'm going to do just kind of a wrap up with a quick tip. I was talking with Scott Mank the other day, and we were talking a little bit about call-in leads. And, you know, we get the feedback from time to time. People struggle with them. A lot of people are highly successful with them. It's kind of funny. We were, you know, I think a lot of it comes down to perspective, because we had a lot of people that just, I mean, absolutely love them. They'll buy every call-in lead they can get. And then some people, they again, it's kind of to Stella's point, you hear one negative and then all of a sudden everything becomes bad about that particular class of conversation or lead. Call-in leads or an A lead. They're a great resource. They're a very affordable resource. According to the company and the analysis they've done, they're the best return on investment. Now, some people do struggle with them. And again, once they start struggling with them, they tend to struggle long term because they don't adjust their mindset or they don't adjust their approach. So I want to give you a quick tip here on something that, you know, I think sometimes people run into with call-in leads. This is an objection that we do hear on this type of lead that we don't hear really on any other type of lead. And that is, you call a call-in lead and they say, yeah, I just called in, filled out the information so I could get somebody on the phone and tell them to stop sending me information. Now, we could talk about the insanity of that. To me, that's idiotic. Anybody that does that, you know, we really got to examine it. But anyway, I could go on a rant there. But guys, anytime you have an objection that you're not sure how to handle, you have to turn it into something that you can handle. And keep in mind with objection responses, there's no golden bullet that's going to knock everything down. Your goal with objection responses is always to try to turn 1 or 2 conversations from a no into a yes or a maybe. Okay. So you get somebody that gives you that objection. I just was calling in. I wanted to get somebody to tell me to take them off their list. Guys, write this phrase down, and you can use this on any objection. Write this phrase down. That's exactly the reason I was calling. That's exactly the reason I was calling. Okay, so now here's how we play this. I was calling to tell you to take me off your list. Okay, sir, yes, that's exactly the reason I was calling. Let me get that updated for you. Let me ask you a couple questions. Yeah, I'm calling about the house on 123 Main Street. Did you want us to remove you from that list because you paid off the mortgage or because you bought coverage from somebody else? All we're doing is we're trying to turn it into something that we can handle. Well, I already bought the coverage. Okay, great. Let me make a note of that on your form here. I'll get that updated. Let me ask you a quick question before I let you go. If I could save you $400 to $500 a year on your coverage, is there any reason why you wouldn't want to take a look at that? So again, you're going to get a lot of people that say, no, I'm not. I told you I had it taken care of. I'm great. Fine. Thank you. Have a great day. But every once in a while, you're going to catch that person that says, what do you mean? Yeah, if we could save you $400 to $500 a year on that coverage, is there any reason why you would want to save that money? Well, how would you do that? Well, let me ask you just a couple of questions here. Let me verify some information. I'll get some numbers out to you. Again, a lot of times we think objection responses has got to be that golden ticket that's going to turn a negative conversation into a positive. If you read the book, and we mentioned it a while ago to Logan, go for no. Go for no just means get as many no's as possible to get to the yeses. But in that, you know, occasionally we can turn a conversation around, and that's really what objection responses are designed to do. Again, they're not going to take 10 no's and turn them into 10 yeses. They're going to take 10 no's and turn one of those into a yes, and the other 9 are still going to be no. But that one, you get 1 out of every 10 that were no's, and you turn that into a yes. That over time shifts your numbers. Okay, guys. Just wanted to leave that with you, give you something actionable that you could take into your dial session this weekend. And again, I think at the very highest point of that, any objection you get, especially if it's one that comes out of left field, we all get them. You know, we study the objection sheet, and all of a sudden somebody comes out of left field and throws us one that not even, it's off the charts. Give yourself some time to think. It's a pattern interrupt. It's a pattern interrupt for the client. They give you this weird excuse. You say, well, that's exactly the reason I'm calling. Gives you some time to kind of process what they just said and come up with your response. But it also, a pattern interrupts that objection from the client and gives you time to deal with that. So hope that helps, guys. Try that out this weekend. Again, it doesn't have to be a silver ton response. It could just be, keep them on the phone, get them through the process, and convert 1 or 2 more out of every 10 no's, and you'll see your number shift. So, all right, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you being on, doing an awesome job. Let's keep the gas down, as John Paul says, smash the gas. 1 more week to go on turn in. So Friday of next week is cutoff. So if you have, we all have goals we're trying to meet, promotions. You're somewhere in your promotion cycle. Now, the good thing, I'm looking at the calendar, issue paid goes through the following week on the 30th. So our submit ends next Friday, but we'll have another 3 business days in that following week to get that business punched through. So put as much as you can in the pipeline and get that business issued that following week. So, all right, guys, we're going to close out the call, let everybody get on with their day, get on with appointments and dialing and getting more business lined up. Again, appreciate each and every one of you being on. You have a great weekend, and we will see you all next week.